Welcome back guys. SteamOS version 3.7 is now available in the preview channel. In this video I'll be testing many AAA games on my deck running on this latest preview build. It's the LCD variant of Steam Deck. Now I'll be honest, most of the AAA games released in 2024 and beyond underperform on Steam Deck. In order to improve the game's performance, we are required to use the balance of performance preset of upscaler. This makes the image quality look a bit pixelated and even blurry. Now the poor performance in these games can be attributed to their poor optimization, but in general the games have become more demanding, especially the games that use Unreal Engine 5. What I am trying to say is that these games have hit the hardware limitation of Steam Deck. Do not expect any considerable performance gains after switching to this latest preview build of SteamOS. Okay, my Steam Deck is running on SteamOS version 3.6.22 stable build. Information: BIOS version F7A0131, GPU driver RADV 24.0.99. First I'll show you how to switch to this preview channel. Press the Steam button here, then tap on System. You need to tap on this drop down bar next to System Update channel and select Preview from here. Need to restart the device. Steam Deck restarted. Need to repeat the process. Tap on the drop down bar next to System Update channel, Preview, Restart now, Downloading update. The preview channel includes SteamOS builds that are still work in progress. They have many unresolved bugs. These builds will make their way to the stable channel once these bugs have been resolved. I won't just cover newly released AAA games, will also cover the older ones. Download complete. Update is getting installed. Wait for the process to complete. It can take a few minutes. We are in. It's still SteamOS version 3.6.22. Just repeat the process. OS update channel preview, Steam client update channel, Steam Deck beta. Check for updates. This should be the last step. Steam Deck beta client update March 21st apply. Tap on restart. The process took longer than usual. Restarted the device. Check out the system information. Hopefully this time it's version 3.7 and the update was successful. OS version 3.7.2. BIOS version still the same. Show you the GPU driver version RADV 24.2.99. I have set the UMA buffer size to 4 GB. I'll kick things off with Alan Wake 2 Epic Games version of the game. I have installed Epic Games via Steam itself. Already shown you the tutorial process. We'll drop the video link in the description. I am using G Proton version 9-26 as the compatibility deck. Connected my 8-bit to Ultimate 2C controller to deck via Bluetooth mode. Launch Epic Games. Epic started. Library. Tap on Alan Wake 2. This game was originally released in 2023. Very demanding AAA title. I'm not expecting good performance on Steam Deck. This error prompt will pop up. Game requires at least 12 GB of physical memory. Just tap on OK here. Ignore the prompt. OK. I have installed the game on SSD. It's not installed on an SD card. Performance QM settings. OLL set to 2. Frame limit set to 60. That's it. Graphics settings. Display mode borderless. Display resolution 800p. I have enabled FSR2 upscaler. This is the base resolution 640 by 400 pixels. VSync off. All effects disabled. Everything set to low wherever possible. Game will look pixelated. Playing as Alan. This is a safe zone. I tested the launch version of this game on Steam Deck. It had visual bugs. Textures were not rendered properly. Mesa GPU driver update fixed that issue. This is the Dark Realm. The FPS here is within a range of 20 to 28. Gameplay is a bit choppy. Image quality is looking pixelated as expected. We are hitting the GPU bottleneck even when I am using the performance preset of FSR upscaler. The game is just too much for Steam Deck's processor. Power draw around 24 watts. And just use another flare. Place it here. It's the city area filled with dark shadows. And just attack one of these shadows. Running around 20 to 25 FPS. Animation looks a bit choppy, but no audio stuttering. Oh no, what was that? Shadow launched at me. This one. FPS dropped to 17. So the game still runs poorly on Steam Deck, even with SteamOS version 3.7. I'll test the next game. Now I'll be testing Kingdom Come Deliverance Part 2, a AAA game released last month. This game is playable on Steam Deck using G-Proton version 9-26 as the compatibility layer. I'll test the game in Kuttenberg, very demanding area. It's equivalent of Baldur's Gate 3's low city area, third act. Performance QM settings, overlay level set to 2, frame limit set to 60, that's it. Show you the in-game settings. 800p resolution using the low preset. FSR 3.1 upscaler enable using its balance preset. Motion blur depth of field disable. Everything set to low. I'll load Kuttenberg. We are in. I'll just traverse Kuttenberg on horseback. Keep an eye on the FPS counter. It's very variable. 39 to 45. It's better to just cap the FPS at 30 for a more stable experience. See, 34 to 40 FPS. GPU load 90%. So game's performance seems to be limited by the single core CPU performance. 90% GPU load. Let's cap the FPS at 30. Back to the game, I'll just follow the track. In open world games with heavily populated areas, we have seen the performance tank in many games like Baldur's Gate 3 third act, Stalker 2, Dragon's Dogma 2. Here FPS is staying mostly close to 30. I'm heading towards the marketplace. And over everyone. There's the entrance. Made it. In other areas you can even run the game using the medium settings. I'm trying to dismount. Just need to press the Y key. Explore the area. This is the marketplace. So many non-playable characters around us. Still FPS is close to 30. Image quality is looking decent. The game officially supports FSR 3.1. This game is playable on Steam Deck. Now I'll be testing the next one. Now I'll be running Fallout 4 Next Gen using G-Proton version 9-26 as the compatibility layer. This game is Steam Deck verified. I'll use the default settings. Launcher won't pop up out of the box on Steam Deck. We are in performance QM settings. Overlay level set to 2. Frame limit set to 60. That's it. Better to cap the FPS at 40 in this game. I'll load the Boston area known for its performance issues. We are in. It's the night time. I'll just turn off my flashlight. Keep an eye on the FPS counter. FPS will be very variable. I am only testing the demanding areas of a game. In less demanding areas, performance will be considerably better. Mongrels. Few hiccups here. Decent performance. A GPU load is around 90%. So game's performance seems to be limited by the single core CPU performance, 40 FPS. And just cap the FPS at 40. Back to the game. I'm just looking for some mutants. 38 to 40 FPS now. Power draw dropped to around 20 watts. Hearing some noises. Mutant crew is nearby. What was that? They are behind me. Yeah, this game is playable on deck. Oh my god, this creature lunged at me. Mesh quality is looking sharp. These creatures are everywhere. Now I'll test the next game. Now I'll be running the Ubisoft Connect version of Assassin's Creed Shadows. I'll be using Lutris to run Ubisoft Connect client on Steam Deck. Settings, using Wine G 8-26x64 as the Wine version. This is SteamOS running in gaming mode. Launching Ubisoft Connect client. Client started. Just launch the game from here. Performance QM settings. OLED level set to 2. Frame limit set to 60. That's it. Video settings. Ray tracing global illumination set to diffuse hideout only. Ray tracing will only work in a hideout, which is basically a base of operations. Only a few settings are available on Steam Deck. Using of 800p resolution, upscaler set to FSR. I have set the minimum dynamic resolution value to 20%. Same thing for maximum dynamic resolution value. Frame generation off. There is a character. I am in Sakai village. Traverse the area on horseback. Heavily populated area. Almost hitting the GPU bottleneck. Look at that CPU load close to 80%. We are still getting 30 FPS. That's really good to see. This place is bustling. Leave the place. Open world areas are less demanding than the populated areas. You can see GPU load drop to around 85%. It's variable. Thick foliage around me. Animals running around. Yeah, this game is playable on Steam Deck. Discovered a new area. Fukushima ruins. Guards, kill them. Level 5. Should have pressed the R1 key. My bad. The FPS stays around 30. Sky is still live. Not anymore. Now I'll test the next game. I'll be running Cyberpunk 2077 version 2.21 using G Proton version 9-26 as the compatibility layer. Performance QM settings, OLED level set to 2, frame limit set to 60. That's it. Version 2 raised the game's system requirements using the low graphics preset. Upscaler set to XeSS version 1.3. FSR upscaler in this game produces a lot of texture shimmering. Using the performance mode of XeSS, sharpness level 0.5. Scroll down. More settings set to low. Post-processing effects disabled, all of them. Low to medium settings. Apply. 800p resolution, VSync off. Here we are in. I am standing right outside V's apartment building in Little China. Here FPS is close to 40. Wow, the graphics are looking stunning. Image quality is not looking pixelated, all thanks to XeSS upscaler. Okay, I'll kill the cops, steal their vehicle. Better to just cap the FPS at 30. FPS is so variable. This should work. 30 FPS. Game becomes heavier on the GPU while driving around. Stole the vehicle. Change the camera perspective. Keep an eye on the FPS counter. 27 to 30 FPS. Oh no, I got stuck here. It's not good. Managed to escape. Yeah, the game is definitely playable on Steam Deck. Even during combat, FPS stayed close to 30. Game's expansion. Phantom Liberty is more demanding than the base game, especially Dogtown area. Deck won't be able to maintain a steady 30 FPS in Dogtown. I'll test that area as well. Oh my god, took out that guy on the bike. Now we're in Dogtown. Keep an eye on the FPS counter. Riding my bike. Few hitches. Not bad. 26 to 30 FPS. Yeah, stuttering will occur from time to time. See, better to just cap the FPS at 24 in Dogtown and engage in combat. They are coming after me. Oh my god, someone just ran over me. I'll throw a grenade. Explosion caused the FPS to drop down to around 26 there. Another stutter. I'll test the next game. Another game from CD Projekt Red, Witcher 3. Using G Proton version 9-26 as the compatibility layer. Graphics settings using the medium preset. XeSS upscaler using its balance preset. Post processing effects disabled, all of them. Everything set to medium. 800p resolution. Remove the FPS cap, VSync off. There's Carol. I am standing at the entrance of Novigrad. Wow, the graphics look so beautiful. The art style. My house roach. Enter the city. Heavily populated area. Look at the reflection quality. Beautiful. FPS is within a range of 39 to 45. Here we are hitting the GPU bottleneck. Where to cap the FPS at 40 in this game. Beautiful music. So many non-playable characters around us. Perfect for testing the game. CPU load is close to 75%. Image quality is looking sharp. You can use FSR frame generation mods in this game. I have uploaded the tutorial. Refer to any of my videos. Help in improving the performance. Made to the marketplace. Yeah, 34 FPS game is still playable. I'll test the next game. Another open world game, Hogwarts Legacy, using G Proton version 9-26 as the compatibility layer. Performance gear and settings. OLL set to 2. Frame limit 60. In-game settings using the low preset. Ray tracing off. XeSS upscaler enabled using its quality preset. 800p resolution. Post processing effects disabled. VSync off. There is a character. I am in Hogsmeade. Yeah, here FPS is very variable, 35 to 45. CPU load 80%, almost hitting the GPU bottleneck. Better to just cap the FPS at 30 in this game. It's up to you. The open world areas are less demanding than the populated areas. I'll be flying around the field as well. First I need to exit Hogsmeade. It's a no flying zone. Beautiful visuals. Jumped into the pond. There's the exit. Just follow this path. Even in this game you can use FSR frame generation mods. Entirely up to you. I can equip my broom now. There you go. Flying around. FPS is close to 50. See? Beautiful scenery. Looking for some bad guys. Found them. Some wolves. Use my shield at the last moment. So good performance in this game. It's definitely playable on deck. Even during combat, FPS stays above 30. Now I'll test the next game. I'll be running Star Wars Jedi Survivor EA app version of the game. I have installed EA app on Steam Deck via Steam itself. Already shown you the setup process. We'll give its link in the description. Using G Proton version 9-26 as the compatibility layer. There's the game. Select it. Play. In-game settings 800p resolution using the low graphics preset. VSync and ray tracing off. FSR2 set to performance. Motion blur, film grain, chromatic aberration disabled. That's it. I load the planet Koboh area. Performance game settings, overlay level set to 2. Frame limit set to 60. That's it. There's Cal. I'm on planet Koboh. Look at the scale of this map. Creatures. FPS here is close to 25, hitting the GPU bottleneck. I tested the previous version of this game. The upscaler was not working properly in the EA app version of the game. I'm not sure if the upscaler is working properly here. 20 FPS hitting the GPU bottleneck. Oh no, this creature was hiding here. Camouflaging itself with the environment. 23 FPS. I'll just change the upscaler's preset. This will verify if the upscaler is working properly or not. Change the preset from performance to quality. This should degrade the performance and improve the image quality. We are getting the same FPS, so the upscaler is not working properly. This shouldn't be the case for Steam version of the game. Oh no, that big guy is coming after me. Time to escape. 20 FPS. So performance is still on the lower side in this game on Steam Deck. 19 FPS. Forget about fighting. I'm running away. Grab the rope. Now I'll test the next game. Now I'll be running Elden Ring. It's Steam Deck verified using G Proton version 9-26 as the compatibility layer. Performance QM settings, overlay level set to 3, frame limit set to 60. That's it. In-game settings, 800p resolution. I'm basically using the medium preset with motion blur disabled. That's it. We are in. I'm standing at the entrance of Gatefront ruins. Big area ahead of me. I'll just raid this camp. Yeah, FPS is close to 35. Not hitting the GPU bottleneck here. Game's performance is limited by the single core CPU performance. Better to just cap the FPS at 30 for a more stable experience. In the indoor areas, FPS will be on the higher side, close to 50. Yeah. Just engage in combat. Backstab. Fire effect looks so cool. It's due to my sword. Haven't played the game in a very long time. Forgot the name of the sword. I killed a giant snake in order to obtain this sword. Yeah, this game is playable on deck. Good experience. GPU power draw is close to 6.5 watts. GPU power draw lower than 4 watts. This is amazing. Fat rolls. My character is overweight. Oh my god. Don't want to fight against multiple NPCs at once. So many NPCs around us. Still the performance is stable. Now I'll test the next game. God of War Ragnarok. This game is Steam Deck verified. That's good to see. using G Proton version 9-26 as the compatibility layer. Performance game settings, OLED level set to 3, frame limit set to 60, and that's it. This game officially supports FSR 3.1, graphics settings 800p resolution, FSR 3.1 upscaler enabled using its performance preset, using the low graphics preset, film grain motion blur disabled. I load the Svartelfheim area. We are in. Audio is skipping, not sure why. Launch version of this game had some problems with Bluetooth controllers. They used to cause the audio to stutter. But this time I'm playing the game using Steam Deck controls. I haven't connected my Bluetooth controller.
I still can't believe Mom led a whole rebellion here.
Still there are some issues with the audio.
And never talked about it.
The fact that it didn't go well might have killed that notion.
What your mother did before we met.
This issue is not present in the case of stable SteamOS.
Eyes on the water. There are resources.
30 to 40 FPS. Not hitting the GPU bottleneck. Single core CPU performance seems to be the limiting factor here.
If you never asked Mom about what she used to do, what did you talk about when you met? Like,
Ugly audio issues.
just say, "Woman, go out the house. I will go to catch fish in the river." And then leave for 5 days?
And this is the latest version of the game.
Than I.
30 FPS.
That wheel is blocking the channel.
I imagine if you can turn it, we should be able to get through.
So these are wetlands, huh? Pretty accurate.
It is a bog.
The smell is
Freeze the
making my
water here.
eyes burn.
You know, it is a fair bit more potent than when I last visited.
Jump
now that
across.
you mention it.
And this area is very demanding. 30 FPS. So FPS mostly stayed within a range of 30 to 40. Not sure why these audio issues are occurring. Now I'll test the next game. Now I'll be running Capcom's Monster Hunter Wilds. This game is notorious for its poor performance, using G Proton version 9-26 as the compatibility layer. Steam Deck compatibility unsupported. Shaders will get compiled at startup. The first run will be longer than the subsequent runs. Performance game settings, OLED level set to 3, frame limit set to 60, that's it. In-game settings, 800p resolution, uncapped FPS, VSync off, using the lowest graphics preset, FSR 3 upscaler enabled using its ultra performance preset, frame generation off, other settings, stick with the default one, variable rate shading off, motion blur disabled. Even with the lowest graphical preset, Steam Deck will struggle to maintain a steady 30 FPS in this game. As you can see, this is the lobby area, 15 to 20 FPS. I have started a quest, all my sacred, traverse the open world. A very poor performance here. This game uses Capcom's own RE engine. This engine has performance issues in open world games. I'll also test Dragon's Dogma 2. Yeah, there's a target. Look at the graphics. Pixelated. And the game is running like a slideshow. 12 to 15 FPS. I have no idea how people are playing this game on Steam Deck. It's one of the most played games on deck. Yeah, the game supports FSR frame generation. You can enable it, but still the FPS will be lower than 30. I'll quickly do that. Game is running in the background. Enable. Yeah, you can see FPS increased to around 30, 25 to 30. It's not very helpful in improving the performance. We are hitting the GPU bottleneck. I have seen PlayStation 3 games look better than Monster Hunter Wilds. So disappointing. Now I'll test the next game. Now I'll be running Baldur's Gate 3 using G Proton version 9-26 as the compatibility layer. I'll test the lower city area in third act, known for its performance issues. Performance QM settings, OLE level set to 3, frame limit set to 60, that's it. Video settings, 800p resolution, VSync off, FSR 2.2 upscaler enable using its performance preset, everything set to low, effects disabled. We are in, there's my character Karlak, my teammates. Yeah, here FPS is within a range of 30 to 40. Zooming out, we are hitting the GPU bottleneck. I'll explore the area on foot. First I'll head to the Blushing Mermaid Tavern. The FPS drop to 30. It's better to cap the FPS at 24. In the lower city area, see. This will give you a more stable experience. Animation here is looking a bit jarring. Not hitting the GPU bottleneck here. Performance is limited by the single core CPU performance. This area is heavy on both CPU and GPU. I tested the launch version of this game on Steam Deck. Here FPS used to be within a range of 10 to 15. Much better performance now. I'll trigger an explosion by getting in close proximity to that house. Just keep an eye on the FPS counter. Yeah, there's the explosion. 17 FPS. Back up to 30 now. Heading to a more crowded area. Cap the FPS at 24. So Steam Deck still struggles to maintain a steady 30 FPS in the third act of Baldur's Gate 3. There's the crowd. These guys are casting some magical spells. I'll engage in combat. Attack this creature, whatever it is. Talk. Select attack option. Battle started. Top-down view. (22 to 26 FPS). Now I'll test the next game. Silent Hill 2. This game supports both DirectX 11 and 12 modes. In the DirectX 12 mode, excessive stuttering occurs, so I'll be running the game using DirectX 11 mode. Very easy to use the DirectX 11 mode. Tap on the settings cog here, tap on properties. Under launch option, add this line of text -DX11, that's it. Using G Proton version 9-26 as the compatibility layer. DXVK will be used to translate DirectX 11 calls to Vulkan API, but in DirectX 11 mode, you'll lose access to FSR and XeSS upscalers, so I'll just use TSR upscaler. Performance QM settings, OLE level set to 3, frame limit set to 60, that's it. In-game settings, 800p resolution, VSync off, super sampling set to TSR, don't have access to FSR 3 and XeSS upscalers. TSR preset set to normal, graphics preset set to low, that's it. Straight away load a demanding area. There's James and Maria. Need to escape from here. Yeah, FPS is close to 20. We are hitting the GPU bottleneck. Thick fog around me and weird creatures. Need to sprint. There you go. Engage in combat. Dodge the attack. It's going to spit some vomit at me. Audio is not stuttering, but FPS always stays within a range of 20 to 25. 30 FPS is not possible on Steam Deck. That's the problem here. This thing was hiding here in the corner waiting for me. Mannequin. Stuttering is not a problem in DirectX 11 mode, so that's good to see. You can use a mod to improve the game's performance. It will disable certain graphical effects to boost the FPS. It's a mod developed by Hybrid. I even covered it on YouTube. You can check out that video. Need to push this item. There you go. 19 FPS. This game uses Unreal Engine 5. These games are very heavy on the CPU and even on the GPU. Now I'll test the next game. Now I'll be running Rise of the Ronin. This game was released recently using G-Proton version 9-26 as the compatibility layer. This game runs in a slow motion state when the FPS is variable. In order to prevent this issue, you need to make sure the game runs at FPS values close to 30, 60 or 120. Unfortunately, Steam Deck can't even maintain 30 FPS in this game. Game stutters constantly on this device. The game was originally released on PS5 a year ago. It's a very bad PC port. I hope the developers improve its performance. Performance game settings, OLED level set to 3, frame limit set to 60, that's it. In-game settings, FPS capped at 30. Graphics mode using prioritize FPS preset. Resolution 720p. XeSS upscaler enabled using its performance mode. Frame generation disabled. Lowest to low settings off. And that's it. Post-processing effects disabled wherever possible. Ray tracing off. Straight away jump into the open world. Loot the Yokohama village area. Here there is a character standing at the entrance of Yokohama village. And look at that stuttering. Very disappointing performance. 20 FPS. Game literally freezes for a second or two. Heavily populated area. I have seen games that look and run way better than Ronin. For example, Ghost of Tsushima. Recently released Assassin's Creed Shadows. I'll just traverse the open world on horseback. Pressing the keys randomly. Okay, need to press the left D-pad button, my bad. Yeah, poor performance again. 17 FPS. Yeah, hitting the GPU bottleneck. What's going on with the CPU load here? 99%. I think this is the reason for the intense stuttering. I've already compiled the shaders at startup. What's going on in the background? Such poor performance. Game is running in a slow motion state, as you can see. Safe to say this game is not playable on Steam Deck. Okay, show you some combat as well. I was trying to dismount. Game is running like a slideshow here. Very difficult to execute the dodges. I died. Test the next game. I'll be running Spiderman 2 using G-Proton version 9-26 as the compatibility layer. This game is marked as Steam Deck verified. It's another bad PC port. Performance QM settings, OLED level set to 3, frame limit set to 60, that's it. In-game settings, 800p resolution VSync off. XeSS upscaler using its performance preset. Everything set to low or very low. Effects disabled. Ray tracing off. Post-processing effects disabled. Motion blur strength and film gun strength set to nil. Sharpness set to 5. In the scripted sequences, FPS in this game can drop into the mid-20s on Steam Deck. And there's Peter and Miles. We'll be fighting against Sandman. It's a scripted fight. Dodge. You can have the FPS counter. Yeah, it's variable. Close to 30 hai. There's Sandman. I'm just swing around him. That was a close dodge. Yeah, 27 FPS. Throw objects at him. Audio is not stuttering. After this, I'll be testing the open world. Oh no, massive stutter there. This can happen. I'll jump into the open world now. There's Spiderman. Now I'll be swinging around the city, unlock the traffic. Yeah, FPS here is close to 30. It's variable. Where to cap the FPS at 30 for a more stable experience.
Guy nearly hit somebody. I better do something.
Crime has been reported. Location is nearby.
Guys,
Chasing a car. Almost there. Performance is not ideal in this game on Steam Deck, but yeah, it's playable. These guys are shooting at me. I'm not hitting the GPU bottleneck here. Toss that at. (25 to 30 FPS). Now I'll test the next game. Now I'll be testing Resident Evil 4 Remake, again using G Proton version 9-26 as the compatibility layer. Performance QM settings, OLED level set to 3, frame limit set to 60. That's it. In-game settings using the balance preset, 800p resolution, unlock the frame rate, VSync off, cinematic resolution set to full HD, FSR to upscaler enabled using its quality preset. Rest of the settings are left as they are, except for motion blur. I'll disable it. There it is. And that's it. So many settings. My current location, standing at the entrance of Village Square. We'll be fighting against hordes of villagers infected with some kind of a parasite. Yeah, FPS is within a range of 33 to 35. This game looks amazing and runs well on Steam Deck. Oh my god, I got stabbed there. Where to just cap the FPS at 30. Yeah, we are hitting the GPU bottleneck. Image quality is looking decent. You can use RE framework to inject XCSS upscaler in this game. It will make the image quality look sharper than this. Will resolve the texture shimmering issue as well that occurs on fine textures like the fences and trees in the background. I am just running around like a madman. What is this guy doing here? Nothing. FPS. You can always use the balance or performance preset of FSR upscaler to gain a few more frames. It's up to you. 30 FPS is possible even with the quality preset of FSR. Don't want to drop the game setting further. Balance preset works nicely. We'll get 30 FPS for the most part. Now I'll test the next game. Another game from Capcom, Dragon's Dogma 2, using G Proton version 9-26 as the compatibility layer, Steam Deck compatibility, unsupported. In-game settings, 800p resolution, unlock the FPS, FSR 3 upscaler enabled using its balance preset. All effects disabled, everything set to low, shadow cache setting enabled. That's it. I'll straight away load the one pot city area, known for its performance issues. Heavily populated. Performance QM settings, OLED level set to 3, frame limit set to 60, and that's it. I purchased a house in Vernworth to save my progress. There's my character. Yeah, here FPS is close to 20, not hitting the GPU bottlenecks, so the game's performance is limited by the single core CPU performance. Oh my god, look at those ugly textures. Texture shimmering is going on. Such poor performance in the marketplace. 14 to 20 FPS. This is why so many people are disappointed with the performance of Monster Hunter Wilds. It uses the same game engine. Capcom knew about this engine's performance issues They still went with the same engine, didn't even bother to optimize it. The game looks terrible, runs poorly on Steam Deck, leaving Vernworth. Open world 13 FPS. This game still does not support FSR frame generation, but you can use FSR frame generation mod. Don't bother using it on Steam Deck. Look at the base FPS 15. So disappointing. Now I'll test the next game. Now I'll be running Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. This game is Steam Deck verified. Again, I'm using G Proton version 9-26 as the compatibility layer. Performance game settings, overlay level set to 3, frame limit set to 60. In-game settings, I'll just use the low preset. 720p resolution, display mode windowed, frame rate 120, display sync technology VSync, everything set to low, dynamic resolution scaling, minimum and maximum values set to 50%. TAAU upscaler is being used. This makes the image quality look a bit blurry. You can install OptiScaler mod to inject XCSS upscaler in this game. It will improve the image quality. First I'll test the game in Costa Del Sol. We are in, there's cloud. FPS here is a bit variable on the beach, 30 to 40. Where to just cap the FPS at 30 in this game. Oh my god, look at the image quality, it's looking so blurry. Cloud space is barely visible. I'll just apply a 30 FPS cap. My crew. I'll explore the area, leave the beach side. Almost hitting the GPU bottleneck, 80 to 90% GPU load. Yeah, FPS dropped to 20 there for a second, back up to 30. Populated area. I'm observing some texture pop-in issue, and this is when the game is installed on an NVMe based SSD. Driving around GTA, destroying property. Oh my god. So not the ideal experience on Steam Deck, but the game does seem to be playable. Open world areas in this game are less demanding, like the grassland area. I'll load it. This is grassland, big open area, thick foliage around me. I'll show you some combat, see some features in the background. Yeah, FPS is staying close to 30. Tag the creatures, start the battle. Real-time combat. Game is not stuttering. I'll change my character. Playing as red now. Characters can be changed on the fly. Play as edit now. Use her staff. Back to cloud. 25 to 30 FPS. Now I'll test the next game. In-game settings, 800p resolution, VSync and motion blur disable. Upscaler set to FSR. Resolution scale set to 45%, frame generation and ray tracing off, everything set to low. I'll straight away test the last chapter, which is a semi-open one. There is a character. This is Rhino Watchslow. FPS is within a range of 35 to 40, hitting the GPU bottleneck. This game uses Unreal Engine 5. We can fly around the map using a cloud. I'll just summon it. What was that? This creature popped out of the thin air. Few hitches here. This game suffers from traversal stutters. Whenever you enter any new area, there will be a few hiccups. The more you play the game, the less it will stutter. Flying around 30 to 40 FPS. Back on the ground. Looking for some creatures here. There they are. Use my abilities. Few hiccups. Where to cap the FPS at 40. Not the ideal experience, but game does seem to be playable. Clearing the area. That worked. There's an archer here. Stuck. Slice it. Transform. Go to the boss's arena, it's nearby. There's a giant insect nearby. This insect is hopping around the map, hearing the noise, trying to locate it. There it is, found it. It's not hostile, thank God. 30 FPS. Right below me is the boss's arena. There's the boss. Lunge at me. Use Upluck of many ability. (26 to 30 FPS है. Now I'll test the next game. Warhammer 40,000 Space Marine Part 2. This game is marked as playable on Steam Deck using G Proton version 9-26 as the compatibility layer. Performance QM settings. OLED level set to 3. Frame limit set to 60. That's it. In-game settings. 800p resolution. FSR upscaler enabled using its performance preset. Sharpness level set to 1. Frame generation off. VSync off as well. Everything set to low. Effects disabled. Load a very demanding area. We are surrounded by these vermin, so many of them. Keep an eye on the FPS counter. I need to defend this area. FPS is within a range of 34 to 40. We are not hitting the GPU bottlenecks, so the game's performance seems to be limited by the single core CPU performance. Look at these creatures. My teammates are controlled by AI. Keep collecting the ammo. FPS always stays above 30. That's really good to see. I remember testing the launch version of this game on Steam Deck. FPS used to stay around 20 back then. It's not the case now. You can cap the FPS at 30 for a more stable experience. I'm just waiting for the next wave. Use my ability. This is amazing. You can set the upscaler preset to balance. FPS should still stay above 30. Interact with this panel. Now I'll test the next game. For all of the games that I have tested until now, UMA buffer size was set to 4 GB. I'll be running the Rockstar Launcher version of Red Dead Redemption 2. UMA buffer size is set to 1 GB. Using Proton Experimental as the compatibility layer, I have installed Rockstar Launcher on Steam Deck via Steam itself. Rockstar Launcher started play. In-game settings, 800p resolution, VSync off, Texture quality is set to high. Isotropic filter 16 times. Rest of the settings are set to medium. FSR to upscaler enabled using its balance preset. Vulkan API. I'll straight away load the game and Saint Denis area, known for its performance issues. Performance QM settings, OLE level set to 3, frame limit set to 60. There you go. Here's John Marston. I'm in Saint Denis. Just call my horse. Up D-pad button. And there it is. Yeah, FPS is within a range of 30 to 40, but while traversing the city, there can be a few hiccups here and there. CPU side limitation. You can see CPU load here is close to 85%, almost hitting the GPU bottleneck. You can just cap the FPS at 30 for a more stable experience, help in conserving the battery as well. Beautiful visuals. And just apply a 30 FPS cap. Back to the game. 30 FPS now. Just committed a crime. I'll engage in combat now. Equip my guns. Start killing people. Raise my wanted level. Cops are coming. Yeah, good performance in Saint Denis. In the open world areas, performance will be much better than the crowded areas. Time to run away. Let the cops chase me. Where's my horse? Got scared. Horse is on the other side. I'm calling it. It's not coming. This is not good. These cops are everywhere. Kill this cop. Try to steal his horse. Oh no, I had to reload. Now I'll test the next game. Load another area. Just wanted to test the open world. Remove the CPU side limitation. 60 FPS cap applied. Yeah, we are getting close to 50 FPS. This is amazing. Check out the scale of this map. Red Dead Redemption 2 is one of the greatest open world video games ever made, no doubt about it. It looks better than most of the recently released AAA games and performs quite well on Steam Deck. Kill that guy. This activity lowered my honor level. So that's it with the video, guys. I hope you found it useful. Thanks for watching and have a nice day.